Hello again, everybody. I'm Josh Bean from AL.com. I'm here with Daniel Boyette, Ben Thomas, and Gary Estwick. We're here to talk about the 2017 Mr. Football race. Guys, LaDamian Webb won today. He's a 2016 Mr. Football. First junior to win. Got to figure that's where we start talking about next year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's automatic, but the guy had 1,400 yards rushing almost in the playoffs and 22 touchdowns. Another run like that, I mean, this award is so much based a lot of times on what you do in the postseason.
Right.
More media get to see you. A lot of people saw him. Beauregard has another great year. Certainly, he's the leading candidate, I think, for next year.
But I think one thing we did see this year is, he was a guy that hardly any of us knew about before the playoffs, burst onto the scene. So maybe that name recognition isn't quite as important as maybe we thought it might be coming into this year. Gary, I know you've got a couple of really good candidates in Birmingham. Talk about those two guys.
Well, one thing I really like about the voting this year, the guys even on defense, which historically doesn't get as many votes as guys on offense. We saw some defensive guys really push the buttons a little bit with that. I think Connors Miller, Jackson Olin, he's a two-way player on the 6A level, not 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, on the 6A level. 13 touchdowns last year in short yardage situations, and a beast when he's playing with a high motor on defensive line. If he can keep it up an entire season, I think he's certainly going to be.
And what's fascinating about him is he's a 275-pound defensive lineman who's playing Wildcat quarterback, so he's going to get an opportunity to grab some attention.
Absolutely. I tell you another guy too, Pleasant Grove defensive back, Miles Mason. He's been an Alabama target since his 8th grade year. Actually, this year he didn't play quarterback, which is a position he has to play with Pleasant Grove. We'll see how that works out next year if they keep him primarily on defense. But here's a guy who can play pretty much any position. He could serve popcorn if he wants to during a game. We'll see how they decide to use him, but he's been an SEC target again since even before he made it officially to high school. I expect him to be a part of the Mr. Football run.
Daniel, in North Alabama, we've got a transfer there who didn't play in Alabama this year, but we expect him to be in the mix next year.
Yeah, I expect to see Asa Martin back on the recruiting radar, Mr. Football radar next year. He's back home at Austin, spending a year down at IMG Academy in Florida. A great running back, 1,000-yard rusher his sophomore year when he left, so he'll definitely be back on the radar this season.
And then we saw a junior win today with LaDamian Webb from Beauregard. We got another guy who was here, didn't win. Tell us a little bit about Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix, I mean, he's only a sophomore, but he started 2.5 seasons, so he's basically a grizzled veteran at this point. Had 3,000 yards offense, 36 touchdowns this year, so his stats have gotten better and better each year, so you figure he's got the in for another great year next year as a junior.
And another guy who's already getting a lot of SEC attention, particularly from Auburn, where his dad played. Ben, Mobile area is such a fertile recruiting ground. Let's talk about a guy there, Jack West at Saraland, who's gotten a lot of recruiting attention, but he'll be a senior next year. It seems like this is his time to shine.
Yeah, Stanford commend him, and everybody had a ton of offers before he even played his first game. Really, it's just been kind of average the last 2 years. You really feel like this is a year he's going to step up. If he has a great year, he's certainly got the name recognition.
Yeah.
He could be right there. The other guy in our area is kind of a wild card, Jalen Armour Davis. He's going to be one of the top recruits in the state, I think. Plays defensive back, but also a lot of athlete work, wide receiver, reverses. He's from St. Paul. Maybe keep an eye out for him as well.
And then a guy from just not really from any of our areas, but Justin Ross at Central Phoenix City. Most people seem to think he's maybe the #1 recruit in this class. Wide receiver, this year he had a really productive year coming off a knee injury. I think he's a guy that we have to expect to be in the mix. LaDamian Webb, though, clearly, I mean, don't you guys agree he's got to be the front runner at this point?
Only junior to win. I mean, he's the only one who's got a chance to repeat.
That's right. Well, thanks for watching. You can get all of our coverage of this year's Mr. Football at AL.com or AL.com/high school. Thanks for watching.